So the very first day doing it, I was like, man, I've got to stretch myself or I'll never be able to do this thing. I got to step into a new territory where it's not going to happen.
So you do get the opportunity to see family, get everything straightened out. You take some time off, you get your mind right, and now you're back doing things to help other people understand. How did that start? What was that first day like?
First day home,
No, jumping into TikTok and Instagram, trying to get this new
um,
message out.
it was pretty much jumping into the deep end. I'm sure, as you must be aware, content creation is difficult, and especially when you're doing it by yourself, it's even harder because there's a steep learning curve. Like when I go back and look at the first couple of videos that I put out on YouTube and TikTok, oh man, I'm embarrassed because I'm like, look at the quality of these things. They're trash, and I didn't know what I was doing, and I still am learning how to do it. But it's like when you do it all alone and by yourself, you got to put that time in. So the very first day doing it, I was like, man, I've got to stretch myself or I'll never be able to do this thing. I got to step into a new territory where it's not going to happen. And the fear that, like the anxiety and the self doubt that you hear in your mind, which is like, you can't do it. It's going to suck. You're going to look stupid. You're never going to get a job. You got to just push that crap out, man, and be the master of your own self dialogue. It's just like going into the prison yard for the first time. Yeah, it's a little bit frightening, but then you look back after a little while and it's like, people, you know how to get into the weight circles, and it's different and you're used to it, and then you become not only used to it but you become a veteran of it. So that's what I'm trying to do with this, but it's brother, it's some hard work and a lot of long hours. I mean, I just got done shooting videos maybe an hour ago, went back and just sat and relaxed, played on the phone before we linked up here tonight, because I was like, man, I'm gonna be up till probably 3 4 again this morning working. So it's it's what you put into it is what you're going to get out of it. But man, you got to take that first step, and if you don't do it, you'll never know. So
I agree with you on every single bullet point you just made. Because my first episode was a pilot episode, and I just told my backstory of why I wanted to do this. I listened to that like 3 times. I had to take it down. I had to take it down. I'm 60.
yeah,
This is episode 63,
nice.
and I had to make a new pilot. There was no way. It was so irrelevant to what has evolved, because not only does the quality change, but the stuff you use changes, your mindset changes, your goals change, because I personally didn't realize how this was going to navigate. I thought it was going to be me and my daughter. I thought we were going to be doing like a one-on-one talk. I didn't know I'd be talking to content creators. That wasn't the original intent. Um, so you just don't know. But I'll be honest with you, if you're not brave enough to go for the first step, you can't even take your journey. You can't even take your journey.
Miss 100% of the shots you don't take, and I mean, you just got to keep taking them till you get good at it. And that's the only way you're going to get better is repetition, repetition. How many people have failed because they gave up right before their breakthrough, like immediately before it? There's probably so many people that just said, man, I'm not doing this anymore. It's not paying off. I feel like it's a waste of time. And that's how I felt. And I put this video up last week about a prison stinger, how to cook water in your cell. And that thing had 1 million views in 14 hours. And I was like, yo, what happened here? Because I didn't have anything like that.
Greg,
It's
the
open doors.
stinger's what got me. That's how I started talking to you, was the stinger, man.
Right, right. And that's something I had actually posted a long time ago, but I posted it wrong because I had it in the wrong aspect ratio for TikTok. I didn't know any of this stuff. So I was like, all right, let me go back and do this again, repost with higher quality, and then boom, and it just shot off. And I was like, man, you just got to keep knocking on that same door sometimes, and it's going to open up.
Every person I talk to has a unique story on how they go. I don't want to say rags to riches, but from 2 or 3 or 5 or 10,000 subs to 50, 60, 100, or start making enough money to quit their job. And
Yeah.
none of the formula is exactly the same.
No, never will be. It's
Yeah,
different for everybody. It's why everybody's got to try something different. And there might be some general guidelines, but the more you immerse yourself in your craft and what you're trying to learn and know, the better you're going to be at it, even if it takes some time.
yeah. And I'll be honest with you, you do have great content because I'm not gonna lie to you. Those that
Thank you.
don't go, oh yeah, you do a great job. But I'm just saying for the actual people too is people don't realize how interesting their lives really are. The most mundane part of what you would have considered a regular day in the prison would probably blow everybody's mind and create its own 2 hour Shawshank Redemption in and of itself. And you wouldn't even know the nuance that would blow people's minds. Like the stinger. To you, the stinger was one of the lower aspects. It was like a low resolution item on
Yeah.
this. You know, I mean, it's like making grilled cheese with an iron. You know,
Yes.
that's
Yep. Yep.
way low on your spectrum of things that
Uh-huh.
mattered. You're thinking this is how I learned how to do a front press or like a leg press or whatever it be, and like how I perfected that position while two guys helped me. That you thought in the yard was the most important thing, or conversations you had that got you out of trouble, or that one story with your uncle. Yeah, well, that one actually that was profound. Why don't you talk about that a little bit more, man?